Of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom WIKE, on Monday. The minister, who made a surprise appearance at a high-stakes PDP Governors Forum meeting in Abuja on Sunday, reaffirmed his commitment to the People's Democratic Party. WIKE advised the party to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the south and warned against repeating the mistakes of the 2023 elections, where failure to adhere to zoning principles caused internal divisions and defeat. Let's listen in before we take some reactions.
Play this game. But oh, we'll do this. It will not work. Not tomorrow. I say, oh, we can tell you, look, stop this smartness.
So you don't see your party coming out victorious in 2027 election with the situation on ground now?
When you send president to where? You don't send president to the north. No.
For Your Excellency,
yes, I told them. See, the point is selfishness can kill a system. Take, for example, if Mr. President runs, for example, and wins, for example, 2027, by 2031, APC will send their presidential ticket to where? To the north. PDP will do what then? Then you come back again and say, no, since APC are going to the north, let's keep it in the north. I mean, what kind of smartness is that? Nigeria today, the south is occupying the presidency. Why not as a party come out openly now? Our presidential candidate will also come from the south. Now, you don't want to do that. You want to play the same game. You play the 2023. It will backfire. And when it backfires, it's all these people did this, people did that. It will backfire. And I told people, this smartness don't help you. Not tomorrow, I say, oh, we can tell you, look, stop this smartness.
All right, WIKE is advising the PDP to stop the smartness. I mean, Sunday was quite a day, wasn't it, Dr. Abati? When we saw that video of, Minister WIKE, attending that meeting. And I understand that he was actually invited to that meeting, which really puts our political landscape in some sort of, I don't know what to call it, whether jeopardy or not. But, like I said, we want to discuss some of the reactions from this party and the fact that, the PDP, WIKE has now, re-emerged as a serious stakeholder in the PDP. Let me take this one from Dr. Udo, who wrote, now, 2027 is shaping up exactly the way some of us expected. WIKE and his group are once again pushing the Southern turn agenda. They plan to front Seyi Makinde for the presidential ticket. But now, I have even more clarity on the likely combination of political moves they may employ. Pushing Makinde alone won't be enough. I anticipate WIKE will attempt to outmaneuver Peter Obi, just like he did in 2023. Here is how I think it will play out. WIKE will rally his team around Makinde for the PDP presidential ticket, while also reaching out to Peter Obi with an offer. They'll support him in the 2027 elections if Makinde loses the ticket to Atiku. The strategy is to ensure a three-horse race again, allowing Tinubu to emerge as the beneficiary. The PDP governors will present this as part of their so-called Southern agenda. It's either Tinubu or Obi, but definitely not a Northerner. That is from this particular ex-user. And, people have shared their opinions on what's happening. And I like this tweet from Fashi, who actually detailed, because WIKE is saying that the PDP should zone to the south. But let me just pull up this tweet from Fashi. He actually detailed where the zoning has been since 1999 till date. He said, North, Yaradua got 2 years. Buhari got 8 years. And that's a total of 10 years to the north, correct? Then to the south, OBJ got 8 years. JEJ got 6 years. Tinubu 4 years. A total of 18 years to the south. So that's an 18 to 10 ratio. And then PDP era, the south got 14 years, and then the north got 2 years. Now, APC, north 8 years, south 4 years. Now, his question is, based on the above, which zone and party shortchanged each other? These are the questions, that 18 to 10 ratio. Well, in the meantime, Dr. Abati, before I come to you, Abdullahi Ganduje, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, has stated that the People's Democratic Party will cease to exist before the end of 2025 due to internal divisions. Ganduje, who stated last week that he sees nothing wrong with Nigeria becoming a one-party system, citing China as an example, asserted that the APC is gaining momentum under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with many political figures defecting to the party. He also dismissed claims made by Sule Lamido, former governor of Jigawa, that the APC will disintegrate and that former PDP members, including him, will return, calling them baseless and illogical. This is from Ganduje to Sule Lamido. But also, last week Friday, when Ganduje made that statement, Dr. Abati, about the fact that there's nothing wrong with, Nigeria turning into a one-party state, citing China, I'd like for you to address that as well. But also, the big topic is about WIKE is emerging again as a strong stakeholder in the PDP.
Well, we just had a conversation this morning with Senator Gabriel Suswan, former governor of Benue State, on this WIKE factor. One of the questions we put to him in the People's Democratic Party, a man who worked against the interests of the party, showed up at the meeting of the party on Sunday. We were told he was invited by the chairman, acting chairman of the party. The same man had a media party, and at that media party, he was saying that, look, the PDP will not stand any chance in 2027 if he does not field a southern candidate. In that regard, I said this morning that he appears to be consistent. That was his position in 2023, which led to his, leading the G5 and also his decision to support the presidential candidate of a rival political party. Now, I see a contradiction here. Now, Minister WIKE has been very consistent in saying that he's committed to President Tinubu coming back in 2027 for a second term. Now, how is he going to work on this dictation that he's given? If indeed the PDP, which has not found the courage to discipline him or expel him for anti-party activities, chooses a southern presidential candidate, is he going to abandon President Tinubu? So it speaks to the nature of Nigerian politicians. Yes. It speaks to the nature of the fact that many of these political parties are actually in disarray. On what basis is WIKE again, which is open association with the APC and President Tinubu, would be able to dictate who should be the next presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party? That's a gray area. As for the gentleman who is doing calculations, the North has done 10 years, the South has done 18 years. Again, this is a problem with Nigerian politics. In other jurisdictions, in the United States, or maybe the UK, to cite the familiar example that Nigerians like to refer to, they don't choose people on the basis of ethnicity or religion or geography. Look, this our democracy is not going to move or make serious, far-reaching difference until we get to a stage where there is meritocracy, until people are chosen on the basis of what they can do, what they can achieve, what difference that they can make, not on the basis of whether they come from Ekulobia or they come from or they come from Kaura Namuda, or they come from Ijebode, but because they are competent people who can move Nigeria forward. But we're unfortunately still at the level of ethnicity and religion. And that's why we are counting, years spent by the North or South, or, as if we are counting beings. As for Dr. Ganduje, well, he says that the APC, the PDP will disappear. Well, by what calculation is he saying that? But the more important thing that he was talking about is not just about saying 2027 is a done deal for APC and President Tinubu. It's his talk about one-party state. Yes. Now, I wrote an extended piece today, back page of This Day, in which I interrogated this connection between the factions, which Ganduje is obviously excited and over-enthusiastic about, and also, the possibility of a one-party state. A one-party state is the very antithesis of multi-party democracy. In a one-party state, he's citing the example of China.
Yeah.
In a one-party state, you don't have freedom of expression.
Nope.
You don't have your fundamental human rights. In fact, if you dare express an opinion, you will be crushed.
There's death penalty for corruption.
Whatever. You know, it's a draconian, authoritarian system that you will find. We found in Nazi Germany, in Mussolini's Italy, and also in China, in North Korea, in Cuba. Is that the kind of thing he wants for Nigeria? Where was he? When civil society was fighting for the exit of military rule in this country and return to civilian rule, the whole struggle for civilian rule, civilian democracy, was about people having rights, people having the opportunity to make free choice. And here is the chairman of a political party in 2024 calling for a reversal of all those gains. Oh, God. Some of these people.
Dr. Martin, short of words. Oh, God, that's speechless. I mean, really, but you made very, very good points with regards to this one-party state system. We are a democracy, and that's what we are practicing here. We should not move to a one-party state. Adefemi, before I come to you, still on Minister WIKE. Minister WIKE also addressed the political crisis in Rivers State, which led to the suspension of Governor Sim Fubara. He said Fubara is now making reconciliatory moves and recently visited him with two other governors, APC governors, he said. WIKE also claimed that Fubara was misled by some governors before the crisis escalated. Well, let's take a look.
I'm calling. I said the president has called for peace severally. And I cannot sit down. And one president has called for peace. He said, don't want peace. Yes, he came. He came with two governors and one other person. Unfortunately, the two governors are APC governors, unfortunately. So I will not pursue him. And he said, he wants peace. Fine. I want peace. This is a self-inflicted injury. God has given you this thing. Why not humbly? And don't allow people to push you. They are telling you to act, you're the governor. We know. Nobody is taking the way you're the governor. They say, oh, we just trying to control, demand money, this and that, this and that. I'm sure all of you will have that opinion. There's nothing, they have a television called Arise. They push him and push him. Governors can push him. Hey, where are they now? I think those governors are enjoying their own. Is it not? You don't need to have into that kind of problem.
Governor WIKE is Mr. WIKE, sorry. He's so special. Yes. Minister WIKE. I mean, who amongst you guys pushed Fubara?
I'm innocent here.
Fubara, who did that? Who among you guys? I want to know.
Because he called us out by name.
He called us out. I'm
just an innocent bystander.
I mean, Fubara is a grown man who was capable of making his own decisions. Yes. I mean, you can't be pushed that much to actually go and do all of them. But you know, yesterday we took this story of, Governor Fubara, suspended Governor Fubara, saying that, he may not return to office. I mean, he may not want to go back to office. We didn't fully discuss that as well. Yes. Adefemi Akinsoya.
I mean, it's very interesting because, if we start on yesterday's comments, which is what he made here, the conversation we had yesterday was essentially that it seems as though he's trying a different tactic. Yes. When he used force and Agidi, we saw what that gave him. So now he's trying to use peace and a softer tone, and we'll see if that is a situation of perhaps that will yield a different outcome. So we don't know. I mean, sometimes when people ask questions in an impromptu manner, they may say something that they might not have intended to. So we don't know as it stands now whether or not Governor Sim Fubara truly does not want to return as governor. I don't actually think that's the case. Yeah. That being said, going back to what Minister WIKE has said, I think that it's a good thing that he says that he is open for peace. I think that we're on the right path there.
All right, fantastic. Did you want to say something before we move to the next story?
Okay. Yes, quickly, it appears that Governor Fubara is beginning to listen to some of the people that have been advising.
Yes.
You recall that, last week, we were saying that the president of MOSEND, that's the Niger Delta, ethnic minorities development group, he was saying that Fubara should call his followers to order and that they should stop fighting.
Yes.
Engineer Edans Eradiri, former president of the Ijaw Youth National Council, also said a similar thing, that look, most of these people who are fighting, who are creating problems, they will not help him. Now, on the basis of that, we have now seen that at the service of some commendation service for Edwin Clark, that was where he made the statement that not everything is Oshogbe, and that, people should stop fighting.
Yes.
He's not the one sending them, which is a reflection of him listening to their advice, which is a reflection, a confirmation of the fact that he has been taking steps to seek reconciliation with Abuja, with his godfather that is in Abuja. And it was on that occasion that he says his spirit has left the government house. Well, you made the point that he's an adult.
Yes.
Now, he cannot just be talking like an adult from every direction. If his spirit has left the place, then let him resign. If your spirit has left a particular job, then move on as an adult. Yes. Some of these boys. But in any case, what Minister WIKE has now said is that it came to him to come and beg. In the report by Premium Times that I saw, it was reported that he was led to the minister by Chief Olusegun Oshoba and the governor of Ogun State, Dr. Dapo Abiodun. And it was at that occasion that he knelt down. Lady Olayinka said he prostrated. He's there in the Premium Times report. And so if he has shown that penitence, what WIKE is saying would seem to make sense. That it's not just enough to come and prostrate, kneel down, hold legs, and,
There's holding of legs there too.
Yes.
Prostrate and hold.
Okay. It was a process now.
6 months suspension. It's easy.
But in any
like
case,
you said. All right.
What the governor said, what the minister said is that the president wants peace.
Yes.
Fubara himself now wants peace.
Correct.
Now let them continue to negotiate and all that. But after all this is resolved, we will still come back to the point about how one man, one individual, will say that he's the Lord and Master of a political process, of a democratic process in the state, and that he could dictate to both the people and the governor that they elected.
Well said, well said. At the end of the day, let